Most of these games have a Grandmaster tier. Marvel Rivals, however, changed the curve. This is so much more in line with the pre-Diamond tier. We might all be wrong about Marvel Rivals Ranked. We all know what to expect. Bad teammates, insta-lock DPSs, bad tanks, no heals. Like, we've been there before. But I came across a Reddit thread that kind of turned my opinion a little sideways, you know? See, I'm used to complaining about these things, and I try to stay level-headed. At the end of the day, I just need to be better. I feel like, based on my Smash experiences, competing in the game, the only way to truly win more is to get better. And that's all it is. So this thread, you know, it takes those opinions of those excuses like bad teammates, or, you know, people say it's easy to rank up. It's easy to rank up because, you know, the chrono shields at low ranks, you know, you get lucky with good teammates. It happens, right? We all have experienced that in one form or another. But the thread that I'm talking about, it's kind of real. It's a real one. And at the end, it kind of sums it all up well. So you actually have to hear what it has to say. The rank bell curve and why your teammates are bad. Immediately when I read this, I was kind of like, yeah, my teammates suck. I should be Celestial right now. I'm dropping 40 kills in a game and we're still losing. It's not my fault. But the more I read, the less confident I felt in my own skill. There are lots of misconceptions about the ranks in this game, and that often leads to a lot of confusion about the types of things you see in your games. For example, this subreddit has a lot of people posting about how their Grandmaster teammates do XYZ thing wrong and shouldn't be in GM, or how anyone can reach GM with just a little elbow grease because of how the ranked system works. See, these are the excuses we're talking about. I'm guilty of it. I think every other player in the world is guilty of it. If you've played ranked, you're kind of like, you just get those teams, you know? Both of these takes are wrong. Okay. I don't know if anything that can be said after this can really make me feel that way, but we'll give it a chance. We'll give it a chance, all right? I'm not one to judge too quickly. Maybe Heartless VT is onto something. They're cooking. Let's address them in reverse order. Anyone can be GM. You win more points than you lose, and Chrono Shield exists. This just doesn't make any sense. If you sat a chimpanzee at a computer and taught him how to press find match and lock in a hero in return for a grape, and somehow tweaked his account to gain 100 points per win and only lose 10 per loss, that chimpanzee would at best reach silver gold before the sheer unbelievable disadvantage of having 5 players on his team against 6 on the other made it dang near impossible for him to win. Even at 10-to-1 odds, people who are in GM are consistently able to perform against other players who are in GM. Otherwise, their rank would reflect it. See, this is I don't know the correct term in speech and debate, but they're kind of taking an extreme here. I feel like those extremes are kind of real. I'll get some Doctor Stranges, even healers, but mostly DPS. It really feels like they are this chimpanzee. Which leads to point B. My teams in GM are so bad. How are they in this rank? They're supposed to be Grandmasters. This is where Marvel Rivals pulled a little trick on the gaming community by shifting the bell curve. Typically, in most popular multiplayer games, League of Legends, CS2, Dota, the bell curve of player rank is extremely bottom heavy, with upwards of 70 to 90% of players not even reaching gold. Okay, efforts have been made over the years to iron this curve out, mainly from adding additional ranks, but it remains true. Most of these games have a Grandmaster tier, or something sharing its level of prestige, almost always right before the Apex tier, or one above all for us, consisting of an absolute best of the best players, the 0.1% or even 0.01%, so much so that just saying you are a Grandmaster at the game comes with a little badge of honor and respect in their respective communities. Okay, so I see what they're saying here. They're saying being a Grandmaster should be an accomplishment. It should make you feel good because you are, as in chess, Grandmaster, that is elite. You are, by default, a good player. Like, no question about it. No gimmicks. You're just a good player. Marvel Rivals, however, changed the curve. Grandmaster, unlike the other games, is no longer right before the Apex, but stands a full 7 ranks away. While other games have GM represent 0.1% of ranked player base, MR GM consists of the top 7% or more. This is so much more in line with the pre-diamond tier, usually platinum in other games. Okay, this is kind of, you know, it's attacking my ego a little bit. So, you know, I just take Grandmaster 3. It's not a big deal, but I'm proud of it still. Like, I feel good. And I know a lot of other people take pride in being Grandmasters. You just walk around, you get to say, I'm a Grandmaster. There's aura to that. But this right here, this is telling me that I'm mid. It's telling me I'm mid. Anywho, I know this is usually an unpopular thing to talk about because people naturally desire to feel good about themselves. And being told that Grandmaster is essentially mathematically platinum, it robs them of the pride they feel over their rank. What did I say? What did I say? But in truth, it's Grandmaster in name and name alone. Okay, so they are going that direction. Brace yourselves. This is a rough one. This is a rough one. This is why you see your teams in GM, Diamond, or even Platinum make heinous errors. Because in reality, they are Platinum, Gold, and Silver players with rebranded rank names and an overinflated sense of self because of it. The main issue with this is you're also making those heinous errors. So what they're saying, whether you know it or not, you are making these errors. That's why you are Grandmaster or below. You're making these mistakes. You haven't quite hit the point where you gotta be a freak at the game to win every game. You know, you're a little more average, you know? We're making mistakes. Due to the Dunning-Kruger effect, mixed with the renamed tiers, players who are generally decent instead see themselves as infallible. And this leads to toxicity and egos run complete amok as they think they're excellent at this game. And the random nobodies who grinded 600 games to get into GM are on their way of starting a pro gaming career. Yeah. Nah, I get it. Because you get that Winter Soldier, they have a good game, they'll drop like 60 kills. They'll drop so many kills. They'll win the game for you. Then the next game, they fight a team comp they got no clue how to play against. I know that those egos, bro. Even I have it. We all have it. Truth is, if you take your time, look at the math, look at other gamers with similar systems, and think rationally, you should be able to see that you have a long way to go to reach the top, even if the game very cleverly has tricked you into thinking you're already there. This is a tough one, guys. This is hard, because again, even me being in Diamond, Plat, I felt like I was better than that. And this is kind of saying it doesn't matter. Skill levels generally aren't, like, you're not a pro by reaching GM. And I know I've seen a lot of content creators or just people, they'll make videos saying, why is everybody in Grandmaster? And this explains it perfectly. I think, you know, people take pride in being GM. It's cool. They use it for their videos. They use it to market themselves. But we're in Plat, guys. It is what it is. But no, I'm inclined to agree. I'm inclined to agree with Heartless VT. Let's check out what some of the comments are saying. I appreciate that you managed to explain that without sounding like a giant a-hole. There's no delicate way to say everybody's actually worse than we thought, but this was careful, very gentle. No, I agree. It's kind of like a, hey, check your pride type of thing. Check that ego. It's not really them trying to be a downer. I think they're actually being real on this one. But the devs were cooking. If everybody's a GM, everybody's higher ranked than they were in other games, they feel like they are very good. They want to keep playing because they might have found their game. That's genius marketing right there. And it's working. It's working on me. I'm a GM. Hey, I'm a GM. I don't know if you guys know. I'm a GM. Well, I just D-ranked to Diamond. I was GM. All right, let's keep it rolling. It's like, yeah, he's right, but he shouldn't say it. Yeah, let's let everyone release their egos on comp. Getting insta-Qs in high GM should be telling. In GM1, players are getting recycled very often, depending on the hour. I remember playing 5 games with most people being the same a Monday morning at a national holiday, mixed in different teams. Now, I've been noticing that too. So there's a lot of people in GM, a lot of people not getting out of GM. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the threshold. I talked about it in my last video, about what's the cutoff for good players. It's quite interesting. I don't think it's GM. I didn't think it's GM. You should go check that out. This is already happening in my GM3 games, except the 3 stack I played with before were my enemies the next round. Oh, wow. I mean, impossible to know with the much higher player count and the lack of role queues, both of these being massive factors. You know, I didn't play Overwatch very much. I don't know anything about role queues. I've never played a game with it. Would that actually be a big factor? Because what if a team wants to, like, I don't understand. Would that really make much of a difference? I feel like having comps with different amount of tanks, healers, DPS. I don't know. All right, yeah, this right here. Yep, have some friends that could not get out of high gold, low plat, but are GM/diamond in rivals. I think we've been seeing the Cinderella stories more often in this game, right? But that's all right. That's all right. It's fun. We're having a good time, right? As long as we're not building the ego. I think that is the main takeaway here. It doesn't matter if more players are GM. I feel like that just makes it fun. Yo, I'm Grandmaster. Yeah, that's cool, bro. Good stuff. An accomplishment. But as soon as you walk around, arms wide, you know, your lats are huge. Yeah, I'm GM, bro. You know what? We don't care. We want to support each other. We don't want to be full of ourselves, you know? It's not what GM's about. The game is about bringing people together. Regardless, I think this was kind of a hot take, but also they were kind of cooking. Heartless was cooking. Shout out to you. Banger thread. We gonna find another one soon, but until then, we move.